All right, ladies and gentlemen. Everything appears to be in order, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh boy, we're back from break with One Piece, and I'm excited. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another One Piece chapter reaction and review. I know I've been kind of iffy on the review part of my reactions and reviews. I apologize for that. I'll get back into that today because it's been mostly, and I've noticed, but I haven't said anything about it. It's been mostly me reacting to it and then talking about the chapter, but not really a review of sorts. So I apologize for leaving that section out. So let's go ahead and get started with today's chapter. Just to do a recap of the chapter we got after we went off a break. This was the chapter called Drunken Dragon Bagua, and it shows people enjoying themselves at the Flyer Festival. It shows Kaido fighting with Luffy, and he's drunk, and we see the multiple states of Kaido, where he's laughing, and he has these different laughs, and his laughs were changing the whole time. And every time Luffy tried to hit him and tried to fight Kaido, Kaido kept coming back with different states, like he was crying, he was laughing, he was super angry. And even when Luffy kept hitting Kaido with Conqueror's Haki attacks, Kaido kept coming back to the point where they each try to hit each other with a headbutt, but they used Conquerors with it, and they couldn't even touch one another. Like their heads impacted from their conquerors colliding with each other. So they didn't even touch with each other. Then it shows Kaido in a drunken rage, and he tries to hit Luffy. And Luffy hits Kaido with Gum Gum Rock Gatling. And Kaido combats this with Kundali Dragon Swarm. And they're both just going up against one after the other. And it doesn't do anything to keep each other down. While this is going on, we cut to Marijois, where the five elders is all like, it's what this year's reverie is simply a curse. It's what is unfolding in Wano that makes matters pressing now. Who could have imagined the battle would become this intense? If we strike, it should be now. I presume we have Nico Robin in custody. That the five elders want Nico Robin. That's the reason why Rob Lucci is going after her so much. Or at least having the orders of the CP0 members going after her. And they're continuing with saying, when Kaido and Big Mom are involved in a fight, death could easily come for anyone, which makes it the perfect cover to eliminate inconveniences. And then at sea near Wano, all ships remain on standby. What is it? And as the warships, the world government marine ships are heading towards Wano, Zunisha, the island of Zou, is standing in their path. But then it cuts to the elders talking about, no, that's impossible. That fruit is only a legend now, even to us. It has not awakened for centuries upon centuries. Then why would the world government bother to give that one specific devil fruit another name? It's to erase that fruit's name from the annals of history, isn't it? And given that these are the five elders, and even they barely believe in this fruit, and they know everything, under Im-sama himself, stands to question just what are they talking about. But that's just a little bit of a recap of what happened in chapter 137. Now it's chapter 1037. Time to move on to chapter 1038. And now we have chapter 1038, Kid in Law versus Big Mom. Finally. I hope, oh my goodness, I hope we find out what that power is that allowed Big Mom to empower herself with. But here we have, in chapter 1038, Kid and Law versus Big Mom, Germa 66's an Emotionless Excursion, Volume 3. Niji and Yonji are held captive in Chocolate Town on Kako Island. So, I see Oven, and I see numerous civilians, but I also see Pudding standing off to the side. That looks like Pudding. She's standing off to the side, because apparently, even though Ichiji and Reiju and Judge got away, Niji and Yonji were captured inside of a book. And I'd imagine this is Monduo's doing. So, Niji and Yonji are still stuck in Whole Cake Island while Reiju, Ichiji, and Judge and the rest of Germa got away. Interesting. All right. Third floor, and we're back with Rhizo versus Fukuro Kuju. And it shows that they are both still holding on to their paralysis jutsu with one another. And Rhizo is on fire. Like, his whole body is just up in flames. This isn't like the parts of his clothes are on fire. He is engulfed in these flames right now. And they're both holding this paralysis jutsu against one another, but Rhizo is not budging. The flames. Undo the jutsu, Rhizo, or we will both die. And Rhizo isn't saying anything. He's just holding on. This bruh is willing to sacrifice himself if it means killing Fukuro Kuju. Second floor, and people are screaming. The samurai are screaming, "Get out of the castle! It's a dead end. We can't escape!" And it looks like the roof is about to fall on them. The ceiling's going to give way! And it looks like it's about to fall on them, but it stops. And who is it that saves these samurai from being crushed from the entire roof falling on them? Nobody else but first son of the sea, Jinbei. Oh, Gosenmai Gara Seikan. Yo, he doesn't use that move, but I just love that attack name for him. He's holding up the whole roof. And one of the samurai says, You're from the Straw Hat crew. You're all still in here? Get out while you still can. And then Jinbei is wheezing, and he's saying, How have the flames spread so far? It's one thing to die in battle, but these flames are going to kill scores of men all on their own. And he's looking around at all of the samurai and beast pirates who have pretty much been killed. And as this is going on, performance floor, stay away from Big Mom! Don't get anywhere near that fight, as people are getting tossed because of the fight that's going on between them. Ah! And it's Chopper. Ah! What is it, Dr. Chopper? And it looks like Chopper is starting to shift around a little bit. Oh, what's this? What the? And then Chopper returns to his full size. Okay, so the side effects of overtaxing his monster point has finally ended. No more old man Benjamin Button Chopper. We're now back to normal size Chopper now. Oh, goodness, your monster risks have passed. I'm back. I guess turning teeny and weak is the side effect then. Ah, when you think about it, this is the same side effect that Luffy suffered when he first started using Gear 3rd. Whenever he used it, it would cause his body to shrink down for a certain amount of time, and chibi'd Luffy until he mastered it. Now he doesn't go through that side effect anymore. So, are we talking about eventually Chopper's going to learn how to master it and never have to worry about being chibi again? Maybe. We'll have to find out. Ah, I'm back. I guess turning teeny and weak is a side effect then. But enough about me. Miyagi, I worry about Zoro. Ah, yes, the medicine we gave him. In exchange for a temporary burst of extreme healing, he'll have to suffer twice the damage later, right? I hope he was able to win his fight. I mean, he was so injured he couldn't move, and now it's doubled? And then it cuts back to outside, and apparently, it says... No, this is Miyagi saying, in exchange for a temporary burst of extreme healing, he'll have to suffer twice the damage later, right? I hope he was able to win his fight. And then Chopper says, I mean, he was so injured he couldn't move, and now it's doubled? He's not going to die, is he? And then it cuts to the outside, where Zoro is. And he's huffing and puffing, and he's looking up at someone, and he says, Who the heck are you? And it looks like the Grim Reaper. It looks like the Grim Reaper. There's this tall, hooded, cloaked figure with a giant scythe in their hands, including, bone arms, and they're aiming their scythe at Zoro, and he can't move. What's going on? My body won't move. No, stop, don't do it! Right brain tower under the dome. And then we got Frankie. Move it! Stupid Zoro, how far did he go? And now we're at the crawl space. Crawl space on the first floor. Darn it. That was Whitebeard's division leader. Why is he helping out these young guns? And it shows that, is that Kiku? No, it's just a whole bunch of beast pirates. It's a whole bunch of beast pirates that pretty much got taken out by Izo, I believe. And now we're cutting to the first basement floor, and it shows someone falling and dropping out of an area, and it's Izo, and Izo is bleeding. I was too sloppy against a large group. Remember, Izo, these are still the Animal Kingdom pirates. Kiku, Kinemon, I hope you've managed to escape. And then he aims his gun in a direction, and who's standing in front of him? But CP0, the same two individuals that were going up against Drake and Apu before, Apu left Drake high and dry and ran off. Cypher Pole. And then the bowler hat member says, That's right. We're Aegis Zero. I knew you were here, but we never saw each other today, Izo. Given my job, I shouldn't be allowing the remnants of Whitebeard's crew to run free after their historic crimes. But we're only here to deal with the Straw Hat Pirates. And then they just walk past him until we meet again another day. Wow. Normally, he would go out of his way to take out any pirate, especially Whitebeard's pirate crew. But they're only there to deal with the Straw Hats, and they're just passing over Izo. Until we meet again another day. And then Izo stops and says, No, CP0, don't go yet. What? What do you mean don't go yet? What do you mean don't go yet? Armory Castle basement. And it's Yamato. Please be in time. Please be in time. And Yamato is booking it. She is leaving a whole gigantic dust cloud behind her because she's trying to beat this flaming Umibozu down to the basement. And as she gets to the bottom, she sees it. And she says, There it is. Don't. Because it shows the flaming drawing. I forget the name of it. It's not Kara something. It starts with a K. But the flaming drawing that Kanjuro has created is directly above the bombs that will basically just set off Onigashima and blow it up. No, don't! Please stop! Namuji Glacier Fang! And she goes into her hybrid form, and then she freezes the bombs with her ice breath before it can touch it. If this much gunpowder explodes at once, we're all done for! And then it touches the bombs, and then it starts to go into it. And she says, Don't touch those explosives! And she tries to hit it. Mahoroba! And she uses this move called Mahoroba. Ooh, what kind of move is that? Because it looks like she cloaks her Kanabo in something. Is she able to coat her Kanabo in ice somehow? Because she hits it into the Umibozu, and then all of a sudden, this flaming thing gains hands. And it says, Lord Orochi. And then she says, Hands? And then she gets hit with an enormous amount of heat. And then we're back on the performance floor. Stop it, Big Mom! Our captains can't move anymore! Oh, our captains can't move anymore. Is Kid and Law down? If you keep going, they're going to die. Cut them a break. And then, both Kid and Law are down right now. Because the person who says, cut our captains a break, and they get knocked aside effortlessly. And then Big Mom speaks because she's still in this superpowered state, but she's still huffing and puffing because of the damage that Law did to her. Listen to your men pitying you. Captain! Must make you feel pretty pathetic, boys. Mama! Boss! And Kid and Law are just down. They're not moving. And it still has Big Mom huffing and puffing. Boss! On Kid's side. Hang in there, boss! Are you still breathing? Medical team, save the captain! And that's on Law's side with Jean Bart and the rest of them. Silence, you runts! This is a battlefield! God of Lightning Tension! And before any of Law or Kid's crew can get to him, Big Mom uses Hera to just shock the heck out of all of them and keep them from getting close. And she downs all of Law and Kid's crew with God of Lightning Tension. Big Mom ain't playing. And then it has Big Mom saying, I've yet to hear a roar of victory from Kaido up above. You'd better not still be up there, playing patty cake with that straw hat boy, Kaido. Hera, take me up to the roof. Even I'm getting tired now. Yes, Mama. It's time to put an end to this. And then we have Law get up saying, Kroom, anesthesia. We're done here, says Big Mom. Yo, Law's up, and he uses his awakened abilities. Kroom, anesthesia. We're done here. And then it has Law. Yo! Law's able to extend the length of his sword with Kroom? And then everyone is shocked because Law extends his sword and it goes through Big Mom's arm and through her face. Like up through the bottom half of her face, up through the other side of her face. We saw what happened when Claw went through her neck, like through her sternum. But he's going through her arm and through her face at the same time. And this shocks everyone, and everyone's looking like, ah! Big Mom's dead! And then it shows Chopper saying, Traffy, what's with that huge sword? And then Law says, I know the last one had an effect. The penetration doesn't hurt. The real pain is from. And then Big Mom starts to sweat a little bit, and she's all like, no, not that! And then Law hits her with Shock Will, and she gets shocked from the inside completely. What the heck is going on? A massive shockwave just erupts from Big Mom as she's shocked from the inside. And the way this looks, it makes it appear like blood is shooting out from different sections of Big Mom's body. That's how it looks, like there's these black streaks that are shooting out from Big Mom that looks as if blood is spraying out of her body, including from her mouth. And she gets hit with a massive and she just falls to the ground. And then, as Law is still laying there, because you know he's still massively tired, and as we all know, Kroom drains a massive amount of his stamina, and it's only used as a last resort, her homies start to home in on Zaw saying, vengeance for Mama! But then all of a sudden, they start to get pulled in a different direction. What's this? I'm being pulled backwards? And it shows that all of the homies that were going towards Law are being pulled towards Kid. And then it shows Kid, who's up using his awakened ability, saying, would you I-beam stop yapping and obey my magnetism? And then Big Mom is up enough to say, you're still standing, Kid? And then Big Mom gets up saying, I guess you brats really want to take my head, don't you? And then Kid says, for some reason I feel like I'm driven by a different goal now. I'm guessing Kaido's nearly done up there too. Even water droplets can carve stone given enough time. There ain't a single thing in this world that's totally impervious to damage. And as he says this, Kid hits Big Mom with this attack called Punk Cornadio and hits Big Mom hard. I can't even tell what this is. Is this like a No. Kid made a bull out of pure metal and rams it into Big Mom. Punk Cornadio! And then someone is saying, What a huge bull! It's even bigger than Big Mom's giant form! Listen to me, old hag. I'd rather die than let you go to the roof. And both Law and Kid say this. Yo! Law and Kid are keeping Big Mom down. Yo! Okay. Law and Kid, I see you. And here's the thing. He's not using his awaken abilities. I misconstrued him using his magnetism as his awaken abilities. He's not using that because him using his abilities would have him magnetizing something else. But he's just using his regular abilities to draw all of Big Mom's metal homies to him to create this giant mechanical bull that's even bigger than Big Mom's souped up form to just ram directly into her. And she gets hit with it hard. Like, I think she even drops Napoleon because it's not in her arm. It's not in her hands anymore. And it just sends her flying into a nearby wall. And you hear a crunch and a clang. Man, so much has happened during this chapter. All right, let me see what you guys have said. And it says to be continued, but it doesn't say that we're going on break after this chapter. Whew. All right. So let me just acknowledge everyone. Kohagen, Ogata-san, C-Dez, Mad Dog, CJ, Karma as well, and Destruct. Good to see you all. Place your bets. Is it the real death or is it Brook? Did you miss too much? Brook plus drugs Zoro took equals Grim Reaper Brook. He might be hallucinating. It might be Brook that's in front of Zoro right now, and he's just hallucinating. Or maybe he's just massively hallucinating and Brook's not even there. Maybe it's the shadow of death that's over Zoro. Literally. Because if it's not Brook and he's seeing the Grim Reaper preparing to take his soul, maybe that's the damage that Miyagi was telling us about. Kazenbo. Thank you, Agata-san. I'm going to do my best to try and remember it. Kazenbo. That's some Gin Ichimaru stuff going on there. Yeah, he's able to use Kroom and anesthesia to extend the length of his sword. Law is able to use Kamishimi no Yari. Shinzo. Law has his own Shinzo now. Think Grim Reaper might be related to the curse of Kitetsu? Maybe. Kitetsu, possibly. Has Big Mom awakened her fruit yet? Probably when she uses her own lifespan. We just don't have a name for it yet. Like, I can look this up right now. And don't worry, I can take my time with this because we don't have any My Hero Academia chapters today. So if I go to Big Mom, not Big Mama's house, Big Mom. If I go to Big Mom, there's no specific name to her being able to power up herself with her devil fruit. Like if I pull up the Soru no Mi, there's no specific name to what this ability is. Like, we know about incarnations, we know about homies, special homies, soul pokus, Raite, we know about Indra, we know about Tenman Daijizai Tenjin. That's she's used this before on the roof. We know about Heavenly Foya, Heavenly Bonbon, Stolen Fire. We know about Napoleon and Hera, and then combination attacks. But it does not show her being able... It does not show the name of this technique that allows her to consume a lifespan of her own life in order to make herself grow bigger and stronger. We don't know the exact nature of that. Because it says here, she can also consume her own soul in order to make herself bigger and larger. We don't have a name for that yet. So we don't know if it's an awakened ability or if it's something that she's always been able to do, but she's never had a reason to use it. Because think about it, Big Mom and Kaido are some of the strongest pirates out there, with very little being able to damage them. They've both been known as tanks until this arc. So I would stand to reason, just like Kaido has barely had a reason to improve his own Conqueror's Haki to the point of being able to just flat out overcome Luffy and then just end the battle right there, I imagine Big Mom has had very little reason for her to have to consume her own soul in order to power herself up, because there's barely been any opponents who have been able to stand to her that much. So we don't know if this is like a basic ability that she can do, or a last effort ability that she can do, or if it's something that is a part of an awakened devil fruit that she's able to access, but she's just never been pushed to this brink before. We don't know. We just know that she can do it. I'm pretty sure the name will come up at some point, because Big Mom is not completely down yet. Sure, she may have been hit by Law's shock while twice now. Once through her body, through her neck, and now through her arm and face. And hit with it again, and then she got hit with Kid's Punk Cornadillo, which is essentially just a giant mechanical bull, not the kind that you would see at a bar, but one that is basically looks like it should be in a God of War game when you think about it. The way it's pictured here, it looks like if the Minotaur was actually like a bull, but it's something you would see in Pandora's Temple in the first God of War game. But she gets hit with that, but she's not completely down. But despite her trying to send her homies after Law with him hitting her with Shockwile, Kid uses the metal homies to create his own mechanical bull and drive it directly into Big Mom, with him saying, yeah, we're not going to let you go up to the roof. I'd rather die than let you go up there. Is he saying that fight up there, that's Straw Hats? And that's Straw Hat and Kaido's business. You got no business going up there, so we're not letting you leave this performance floor. I would rather die than let you go up there and interrupt that fight. I don't know if that's the inner monologue he's having, but one could stand to reason that that's probably the angle he's going with. Straw Hat doesn't need to worry about you and Kaido at the same time. You're dealing with me and Law right now. That's the whole thing I'm getting from this. But let me not overshadow the important things that have happened during this chapter. Not just the whole Law and Kid versus Big Mom fight, but the whole thing of Rhizo literally being set on fire. He's on fire. His whole body is engulfed in flames. But he's refusing to release the paralysis jutsu that both he and Fukuro Kuju are stuck under. Like, Fukuro Kuju, he's not on fire yet. Like, he's getting there. Actually, you know what? He's starting to be set on fire as well. It's Rhizo who's completely engulfed. But even despite that, despite the blood that's coming out of his body right now, and despite his body just going up in flames, he's not releasing it. He would rather die than let Fukuro Kuju get away. And everyone is trying to get out of the castle because the Kanzenbo that, thank you, Ogata-san, that set fire to the castle is spreading everywhere, and everyone's just trying to get out. Everyone's just trying to get out now. And some samurai almost get crushed by the roof, but Jinbei manages to catch the roof, and he's like, how the flames spread so far. It's one thing to die in battle, but these flames are going to kill scores of men all on their own. Like, it's one thing to die in the midst of this fight, but this fire is going to kill so many more people than this fighting ever has. Did I say fighting? I meant to say this fire is going to kill more people than the fighting ever has since the beginning of this whole rebellion. And Jinbei's even wondering, like, you're still in here? Get out! And as this is going on, Chopper returns back to his normal size, so the effects of his Monster Gear 3rd form, his Monster Point, have completely worn off. Like I said before, this reminds me of the drawbacks that Luffy suffered earlier in when he used Gear 3rd to fight against Rob Lucci, and the drawbacks was he would turn small and he had to wait to return to normal size. Those same side effects are affecting Chopper because he overtaxed using his Monster Point past its original time limit. But those side effects are done now. So he's back to normal size, and he's wondering about Zoro, who's laying on his back right now, but he's unable to move, as this apparent visage of the Grim Reaper is standing directly in front of him, preparing to take his soul. That's what it appears to be. We don't know if that actually is the case right now. And then it shows Frankie just running through just running through the castle saying, "Stupid Zoro, how far did he go?" So apparently Frankie's trying to find where Zoro is. So that's what Frankie's doing right now. We don't have any account of what Brook and Robin are doing right now since they're still running. Then we go to the crawl space where it shows the Beast Pirates that were there fighting against Izo. They're all just left there, crippled and unable to go anywhere in the crawl space. But Kinemon and Kiku are not there, and it shows Izo jumping out of this area. But apparently he underestimated the Beast Pirates because he got a little bit injured himself during this whole ordeal. Then he comes face to face with CP0, and they say, "Yes, we're Aegis Zero. I knew you were here, but we never saw each other today. Izo, given my job, I shouldn't be allowing the remnants of Whitebeard's crew to run free after their historic crimes. But we're only here to deal with the Straw Hat Pirates until we meet again another day." And CP0 is not worried about the fact that Whitebeard's crew is there right now. They're not concerned. Normally, they would try and take out Izo right now, but they're only concerned with the Straw Hats. But before CP0 can leave, I guess apparently Izo wants to talk to them. And going from there, it shows Yamato heading all the way down to where the Kanzenbo is, as it is literally just a couple feet away from setting fire to the bombs that will basically blow up all of Onigashima and then take out everyone below and inside. She goes hybrid form with her Godwolf form, and she uses Namuji Glacier Fang to freeze the bombs before it can actually set fire to it. And then she uses a move called Mahoroba, which I still can't tell if she's actually coating her weapon in ice itself or something else entirely. Will we get a nothing happen moment? I have no idea. Pain hallucination plus scythe means killer, right? Just finished the chapter. Hi, everyone. Hey, Neil. Maybe it is killer. We have no idea where killer is. Okay, so I'm looking at this picture that Kohagen uploaded, and it's a Discord picture of the Grim Reaper standing, colored picture of the Grim Reaper standing in front of Zoro, but it's the head of Grim from Billy and Mandy. "Hey, Zoro, what you doing down here, man? We know you done defeat the king and everything, but it's time for y'all to get out of Onigashima. That medicine is going to rough your body, is going to hit you double." Billy, go ahead and get Zoro out of here. So, it would be funny if it was Brook and Zoro is hallucinating. Brook was my first thought, but there needs to be some Robin hint there, I think. We have to see. Next week, I'm glad we don't end this chapter with Zoro seeing the Grim Reaper in front of him, and then it's a chapter like, oh, we gotta wait a whole week. But no, it comes next week, and I'm looking forward to it. But going through here, she uses a move called Mahoroba, and she hits the Kanzenbo, but then it starts to draw out a hand from itself, and it then just hits her with a massive amount of fire, and she shields herself from it. As it says, Lord Orochi. Also, Ogata-san, you said you like my voice that I did for the Kanzenbo. That speaking of Kanzenbo, that voice you did was frightening, awesome, VA. Thank you. As long as you enjoyed. Last time we saw Brook and Robin was in chapter 1032 of the second basement level at the left side of the skull. It's definitely possible. It's entirely possible. But then it goes to Big Mom as it shows both Kid and Law down by Big Mom. And apparently she's just been constantly attacking them because it shows like an explosion of fire and it shows electricity from an area. So apparently, you know how, I want to say Gon was beating up on Pito when Gon went into his super huge adult form, but he just kept using rock to just bash in Pito's skull until there was absolutely nothing left. I'd stand to imagine that both, I would imagine that she's just been hitting both Law and Kid over and over and over again to the point where they can't move anymore. Because why else would his crew say, "Stop it, Big Mom, our captains can't move anymore," which means that she's just still steadily been attacking them this whole time to the point where they really cannot move. And Big Mom's all like, "Ha, listen to your men pitying you must make you feel pretty pathetic, boys." And as this is going on, we have the medical team of Law's side and then the crewmates of Kid's side coming to try and get to their captains, in order to heal them. But Big Mom uses Hera's God of Lightning Tenjin to pretty much electrify and electrocute all parties in the present time. And Big Mom is wondering like, playing patty cake up there with that straw hat boy Kaido. You better not be still up there messing around. And Big Mom's all like, even I'm getting tired now, so you better not be messing around up there. It's time to put an end to this. But before she does that, Law gets back up, uses Kroom, and we know that Kroom, using his awaken abilities, makes him extremely tired. He uses anesthesia on his sword, and he extends it. Like, the effects of Kroom allows his sword to extend directly into Big Mom and stabs into her. Then he shocks her with Shock Will. Now, given the fact that this was one of the few times that Big Mom has been massively injured, she really doesn't want to feel that again. So she was pleading like, "No, not that." But Law hits her with it anyway. And I still wonder if these black lines that are coming out, these black streaks that are shooting out of Big Mom, is that streams of blood shooting out of Big Mom? Because that's not black lightning of any kind. That looks like either that's just an effect of the shock going into her body or out of different parts of her body. That's what I think. But Big Mom hits the ground, and as it shows metal homies homing in on Law, Kid uses his abilities, makes Punk Cornadillo, and hits Big Mom with a giant mechanical bull, saying that I'd rather die to let you go to the roof. Okay, so let's just talk about this now. Let's just go ahead and talk about this now. Another chapter of Law and Kid versus Big Mom? Yes! But this time, Law has done some more damage against Big Mom, while Law and Kid are saying, I'd rather die than let you go up to the roof again. My mic looks like a disco ball? Not really. Out of context, but 1 month without solo leveling, and also has anyone seen the AUS Open Final? I have not. What is that again? I still want to see something special from Kid. Yeah, we need to see something special from Kid because we've seen him use his awakened abilities, which is making anything else magnetize. But we've seen more stuff from Law and finding out that his Kroom allows him to manipulate the space on things he imbues with Kroom, which allows him to extend things like his sword to large distances. Something else than throwing metal. Yeah, we need to see something else other than just simply manipulating metal from Kid. There's got to be something better he can do with it. Imagine if Kid had the architectural ingenuity of Jon Stewart from DC Comics and could, piece together piece by piece individual things. Because when it comes to Jon Stewart versus Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, when he makes constructs, they are complicated pieces that actually have functioning moving parts inside. So I wonder if Kid will be like much more intricate with his mechanical stuff that he creates for his stuff if you see more with his awakened abilities and stuff. But that's neither here nor there. That's just something I want to see in the future. We really do need to see something new from Kid, however. We really do. But overall, I enjoyed this chapter. Now, into the review portion. I was Australian Open Final. Thank you, Destruct. What is that? That's tennis, isn't it? I believe that's tennis. Is that tennis? Correct me if I'm wrong. If it is tennis. How about Kid moves the giant sword on Onigashima to the live floor and Law uses Kroom on it and shocks Big Mom again? I mean, it wouldn't be much different than Law using his sword to shock Big Mom. Because it would just be a giant sword going through Big Mom, just shocking her completely. The effects would be the same. The only difference is just because he uses a sword doesn't mean that the sword is going to be cutting into Big Mom, because when he uses Kroom on an object, it allows it to pierce into someone without actually hurting him. Yes, it's tennis. Okay, I figured as much. I don't watch sports all that often, so apologies if I didn't really know. But when Law uses Kroom, it makes it so that it bypasses injuring a person, but allows him to affect them from the inside. So even if Law was able to get access to the giant sword outside of Onigashima, it still wouldn't do anything different than his sword is able to do to Big Mom right now. Because it wouldn't cut into her if he used Kroom on it. Now, Kid, however, using that giant sword, that would make more sense. It would have been cool if he could have thrown metal at Big Mom and melted in the shape of a statue with Big Mom in the center of it. So, pretty much make it so that Big Mom is confined into a metallic statue, at least. The other thing magnetism can do is induce currents in wires, wrap up Big Mom in a coil of girders, and run and blast Hera through her. So like an iron, basically an iron suit, but then she's electrified and shocked being engulfed in that iron suit. That sounds like a really weird torture device. Put someone in a metallic suit and then just run electricity through it? Ugh. I'm actually surprised that humanity has never come up with something like that. I know about Iron Maidens, but not an Iron Maiden where you're sealed inside and then electricity is run through it. That's a horrible way to go. That sounds like something Bayonetta would torture angels with in her games. But neither here nor there. My review for this chapter. When I was looking forward to this chapter, I was kind of thinking maybe we would get just a little small snippet from the Five Elders again. But then again, I have to remember that when it comes to the Five Elders, they show up for like one chapter, and then you don't see them again for at least 20 or 30 or 40 more chapters. So I was kind of hoping that we would see a little bit more from them, but I'm not upset. I'm not upset that we didn't see them again. I'm not upset that we didn't see them again, because when it comes to the Five Elders or anything dealing with Marie-Joie and the upper echelons, the electricity would run along the outside of the metal. It's called a Faraday cage. Oh, so it does actually exist. Interesting. But I'm not surprised that we didn't get anything more with the Five Elders, because when it comes to anything that deals with Im-sama, who we have not seen since way back when the Five Elders kneeled before him, when it comes to the Five Elders, the Gorosei and In-sama, the Gorosei and the Five Elders are two of the same things. I just said it twice. When it comes to the Gorosei and Im-sama, or anything dealing with the upper echelon of Marie-Joie and the world government, we only get sporadic stuff. Only get sporadic stuff of them throughout this entire story. And Ogata-san says that we've only seen the Five Elders 9 times throughout the entirety of One Piece. The fact that we see them so rarely is a major matter, which means that we probably are not going to see them again for quite some time. But my overall review of this chapter, it was actually quite nice. I actually really did enjoy this. I'm not going to put this on like a numerical scale or anything like that, but I did quite enjoy this chapter because, firstly, we have Chopper back to his normal size. We got Frankie looking for Zoro. Zoro's seeing the Grim Reaper. Law and Kid are going up against Big Mom, and they're still doing damage to Big Mom because of Law's Kroom, but we don't know how long that's going to last due to just how much that tires him out. We still don't know how many more Krooms he's got left in him. Like, him using his own life force to extend a room around the whole castle on Dressrosa in order to take on Doflamingo and Treble, that already took a whole bunch out of him. But him using an awakened ability of this caliber taxes him so much that he was tired after its first use that we saw. So it makes me wonder just how many more Krooms does he have in him? And does Kid have anything further to show? other than him creating a giant mechanical bull and the awakened ability of being able to magnetize other objects. We don't know how far his awakened abilities go because we haven't seen the extent of both Law and Kid. Now, granted, I feel like they're still learning how to use their abilities, so I highly doubt we're going to see a full mastered showcase here with them using their abilities, but all the same, Kid needs to show some more stuff. But I will say for this chapter, for Kid, I actually respect him a lot more. I respect him a lot more. Sure, I liked Kid before, but I respect him a lot more due to the fact that he's going out of his way to make sure that Big Mom does not interfere with the fight that's happening on the roof between Luffy and Kaido. Even going as far to say is, I'd rather die than let you go up to the roof. Like, he even said, like, sure, that was my... he was saying, I'm guessing Kaido's nearly done up there, too. Even water droplets can carve stone given enough time. And then he says, there ain't a single thing in this world that's totally impervious to damage. Now, let me go back to what Kid was saying earlier. And Kid was saying, for some reason, I feel like I'm driven by a different goal now. Because Big Mom was saying, I guess you brats really want to take my head, don't you? And originally, his goal was, to take down the Yonko. But now he's saying, I'm driven by a different goal now, and that's to ensure that you don't get to the roof at all. So I commend Kid for not just being selfish. He's all like, sure, I'm going to take your head, and then we're going to be done with this stupid battle. He's all like, I'd rather die than let you go to the roof. So is there some semblance of respect towards Luffy in the matter of speaking? Like, hey, you don't interrupt another man's fight, or something along those lines. I know I'm grasping at major straws if I'm thinking this, but it would make one think that, he doesn't want Big Mom to go up there, so she doesn't interrupt the fight between Luffy and Kaido. Makes you wonder. In X-Men, Magneto reshaped his helmet and made a maul. So I was thinking of using the metal and reshape it to trap Big Mom. I mean, he has the power over magnetism. I don't see why Kid wouldn't be able to reshape metal and not just, push and repel it and manipulate it. So if he has an awakened ability, I would imagine that him being able to reshape metal would be a nice extension of his awakened Jiki Jiki no Mi. It would be cool. He could reshape it into anything he wants. That would be a cool aspect. But we're just going to have to see. Overall, I enjoyed this chapter. Like I said before at the beginning of the stream, we do not have a My Hero Academia chapter today, but we do have a new One Piece episode, so I'm going to get started on that as soon as I'm done here. All I can say to you guys is, I'm enjoying One Piece, and I believe... Who over here trying to send me some messages? Stop it! 7 Deadly Sins, I'll get back to you later. This is the last chapter we get of One Piece in January, because the last day of January is tomorrow, and then we start off in February. So I'm looking forward to talking about One Piece in tomorrow's reflections. Whew, man, such a busy month for January. I will say that much. I'm gonna have to do some more research and find out what all these new attacks are from Yamato, and this new attack from Kid as well. Like, we know it's a mechanical bull, but I'm just going to do some research, look over this chapter again to make sure that we're ready to talk about this chapter and all the chapters that we got in January. All I can say to all of you is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then consider subscribing or even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. Ladies and gentlemen, I just find immense satisfaction and joy whenever I pick up this mic, whenever I look at you through my camera, and whenever I go on a live stream and do or make a video for this channel. I find immense pride and accomplishment whenever I do this, because I just flat out love doing this. And I hope that I've been I hope I've been an entertainer that's been worth your time all this time. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples. Good Lord, I love my job.